I don't care if I...
Sandy into his windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Mikey Kershaw pitches a no-hitter. It is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner. It's over. 1-0. A walk-off home run. This is way back. Walk 'em off. Chris Taylor. It's time for Dodger baseball. Strike three. Dodgers have won it all in 2020. Mookie Betts cranks one left field. Mookie Betts.
They're going to make big signings. They're going to make impact trades. I don't care how many times this team rips my heart out, I'll never stop loving the Los Angeles Dodgers. Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
And what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. On today's show, we've got the Dodgers opening day lineup that we think we're going to see. We got the lineup versus lefties, the lineup versus righties. We're going to dive into yesterday's trade, a little breakdown of that. Dave Roberts talks about his future with the club. I got the top 5 Dodgers managers in franchise history. And most importantly, we are doing our giveaway. We are announcing the winner of the Yoshinobu Yamamoto Dodgers jersey. Did you win? We're going to find out momentarily. But first, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button and drop your takes down below. Who do you want to see in the lineup for the Dodgers versus righties versus lefties? Who do you think should be batting cleanup for the Dodgers? My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. And as always, the way we start the show, it is with the Dodgers Dugout Live poll question of the day. And I asked you guys over on the X, who should bat cleanup for the Dodgers? Right now, 47% of you say Will Smith, 24% of you say Teoscar Hernandez, 25% say Max Muncy, 4% say others. So let me know down below in the comment section, who do you want to see in the cleanup spot for your Los Angeles Dodgers? So let's dive right in the comments here for the leadoff. See what you guys got. Settle in. Got a jam-packed show for you. We got Ray Soto, right field and center field should all be platoon. So, yeah, we'll definitely talk lineup in a little bit here. And I want all your takes on that. Who do you want to see at the cleanup spot? Philip Subia, let's go. D-Mac, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we're always looking for your comments to the show. I got super producer Antonio to my left, who is looking for all your fire Dodgers takes. We're going to have a designated section where we're answering all of your questions after the second segment. So load those up. I want all your takes down below in the comment section. Always looking for that comment of the show. If I see that, I'm going to see one of these.
You win. Perfect.
When you bring those fire Dodger takes, you're going to see one of these.
Fire take.
You guys know I love me some roast. If you got a burn, you're going to see one of these.
Finish him.
If you do anything a little sus, maybe like Mookie Betts, slapping Dave Roberts on the behind yesterday, you're going to get one of these.
Bruh.
But let's dive right in the comments. Yeah, Yamamania, Kersey, Beckers. Good morning, Dodgers Nation from Teresa. Yeah, let me know your cities. Where are you representing Dodgers Nation from tonight? Let me know down below in the comment section. Do past winners still get a chance? Not that it'll happen, but yes, absolutely past winners get a chance. All you have to do to be eligible for our giveaways is you got to comment down below and be subscribed to the channel. Also have that notification bell on so that way you'll know when we drop new stuff so you have more chances to enter to win. Good morning, D-Mac. Bleed Blue. I liked it. Muncie. We got Yamamania, Valcarez. We got Hi, D-Mac. I want cleanup Mad Max. That's from Victor Banos. What up, Victor? Who's hitting ninth? We'll talk about that in a little bit. Cleanup Will Smith. So we'll talk about that. You guys dropping those takes. So we're going to save those for this section on the lineup in a second here. Philip Subia, my 30th birthday tomorrow. Unbelievable. 30th birthday. You got to love it. You got to love it. And happy birthday at the top of the show here. Little early birthday for you. And the Dodgers, they are back in action tonight. The Angels Shohei Ohtani taking on his old team, 5:05 Pacific's on Sportsnet LA, AM 570. So, yeah, it felt weird not to have Dodger baseball. And it was the only day off they're going to have before they take off. So, yeah, we are Rafael Furcal days away, by the way, from opening day. So 15 days. We are closing in 15 days. So first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to break down the trade from yesterday. The trade and everything you need to know about Andre Lipcius. Now, we talked a little bit about on yesterday's show, the Dodgers, they acquired Andre Lipcius from the Tigers for cash considerations. I'm a little bummed. I think a little bummed that they kind of just went away from cash considerations so early. I think cash considerations had a chance to be something for this Dodgers team, just to move off of cash. No, okay, I'll stop. But look, Andre Lipcius is a player that provides depth. He's a player that might be able to do something within this Dodgers organization because, like I always say, they never just trade for anyone. They never just sign anyone. They only trade and sign players that they think they can help this organization, guys that they think can develop. So we got Andre. He was drafted by the Detroit Tigers in the 3rd round in 2019. He's out of Tennessee. Smart dude. He majored in nuclear engineering, hit 17 bombs, 61 games as a junior. Then the fast forward, he makes his big league debut last season. He had 35 plate appearances, 13 games. He slashed 286, 342, 400. And then so far this spring training, played in a handful of games. He did really, really nice job in AAA last season. AAA, he slashed 272, 363, 419, but around league average. From a WRC plus standpoint, 99, actually one below league average. Hit 11 home runs, had 16 doubles in 98 games for AAA Toledo. And he was DFA'd by the Tigers last Thursday when they claimed infielder Buddy Kennedy off waivers from the Cardinals. So why did they do this? Why did the Dodgers go out there and bring on Andre Lipcius? Well, one, they are very thin when it comes to infield positions on the 40-man roster. You don't have a ton of guys. You brought in Trey Sweeney in that trade, but not a ton of guys that you can trust for an infield, for a depth piece. And basically what they're going to do with him is he's going to provide depth, maybe at third. Hasn't played shortstop for quite some time on a full-time level. He's more of a third baseman type at this point when it comes to his range. Does play some first base. He played in 4 Grapefruit League games. He played first and third. But Lipcius, he was the only primary infielder on the Dodgers 40-man roster for any Dodger that's not going to be on the opening day roster for the 13 position players. So they needed more depth at that position. They needed someone that you could try to see, okay, maybe if someone gets injured, we could plug him in. If we need that roster spot, we can just DFA him. So it's not a big deal from that standpoint. But you got Kevin Padlo at first. You got Trey Sweeney. You got some of those NRI guys. I mean, Miguel Vargas is playing just the outfield at this point. So basically, he's a utility infielder, does have some offensive upside. He does have minor league options remaining. So this is basically Andrew Friedman 101. You got versatility, you got options, you got the flexibility. And yeah, his biggest strength really is his plate discipline. A 16.7% strikeout rate, a 14.1% walk rate. So that's definitely encouraging. Is this going to be something, nothing, or everything? I think it's definitely closer to nothing than something, but we said the same thing about Chris Taylor and Justin Turner and Max Muncy, right? So you got to give this organization the benefit of the doubt. If they bring someone in this organization, someone who is an intelligent guy majoring in nuclear engineering, you know that he's going to process the Dodgers information and hopefully he's going to take his game to the next level. And if they get an opportunity to plug him in, obviously it would mean something didn't go right for the Dodgers, but hey, he has someone that has some potential. MLB scouting report has on him. He has the ability to adjust during at bat, and that's definitely something that you want to see. And that definitely fits the mold of what the Dodgers look for. Guys that don't expand the zone, guys that can adjust to pitching. And to make room on the 40-man roster for Lipcius, Clayton Kershaw was placed on the 60-day injured list. So let me know down below in the comment section, is this something, nothing, or everything? We got the right field pavilion. This new trade was as good as Roberts breakdancing. Okay, that's a fire take. Hey, it's a fire take. Yeah, we were going to show the Dave Roberts breakdancing thing, but hey, I thought it was good. You didn't like Dave Roberts breakdancing? We're talking about Doc in a little bit here, but yeah, I mean, those are the kind of moves I want to see from Doc. I think those are pretty good moves. Those are much better moves than pulling out Rich Hill in 2017 and 2018, than going with Clayton Kershaw in 2019, than not letting Tyler Anderson stay in the game. So I kind of like those moves better than those other moves that we've seen that haven't gone his way. But we're going to get to Dave Roberts in a second. So just to wrap things up with Lipcius, provides depth. He gives the Dodgers another position player that specializes in the infield when they were really bereft of that. So definitely gives them another option. He has 31 days of major league service time. He has 2 option years remaining. So yeah, this is one of those moves on the margins where you're like, who's that guy? Huh? And all of a sudden, if he comes up and has success, you're like, oh, okay, I remember that trade. I wish I had really focused on it more. So I just want to put you guys in a position where you know everything about your boys in blue. We got another catcher trade looking like Oppenheimer Brain. That's from Ant Toe Nogue 15. I love it. Roberts out for the season for a dancing injury. That's a bruh. Lynn just gave up a deep blast to center. That's a finish him.
Finish him.
MV3 Eric Rojas. Absolutely. You got the MV3. It's sticking. I think that's the nickname. I think that you got Mookie, you got Ohtani, you got Freddie Freeman, the MV3. But next, it's a big moment here. We're doing our next giveaway. We're giving away a brand new Yoshinobu Yamamoto jersey. And if you guys want to be a part of these giveaways, we are doing giveaways all season long. Jerseys, autographs, anything that you can think of Dodgers related, we are giving away on this channel. But the time has come to announce the winner for our brand new Yoshinobu Yamamoto jersey giveaway. We have officially reached 85,000 subscribers, #1 Dodgers YouTube channel. And just a reminder that this giveaway is limited to those that can get it shipped to anywhere within the United States. We appreciate all the Yamamania comments on our YouTube videos and Instagram announcement posts. All of your comments were put into a random generator, and the winner is, little drum roll please, at Big Boss Arez 3889 on YouTube. That is the winner. We have a winner, folks. We'll be reaching out to you today to get the delivery started on your jersey, and make sure to stay tuned for our 90,000 subscriber giveaway. To be eligible for that, be subscribed, comment done down below, and we're going to find the giveaway pretty soon. Let me know down below, what do you think we should give away? You want to give away a jersey, an autograph? Let us know down below. But at Big Boss Erez 3889 on YouTube, you are the winner of a Yoshinobu Yamamoto jersey. And look, we are all winners because Yoshinobu Yamamoto is pitching for this organization. But hey, this jersey, number 18. By the way, I love how Nomo was 16. Yamamoto's 18. I mean, Yamamoto's 7. Nomo was 16, Ohtani 17, and Yamamoto is 18. I love it. How about Roki? Of course, 19's already retired, but still, I love that. Jerseys, wait, what? You won't ship to Japan? Bruh. Yun. So we'll work on that. I mean, that's just the copy I was given through our giveaway sponsor, but a DMAC jersey, I love it. Mike Mitko, Monte Carlo 18. True, we all win the World Series this year. We're all going to be winners, guys, for sure. So definitely stay tuned for more giveaways. But we have our winner. I didn't get a beer today, so I can't do the Yoshinobu Yamamoto, but I think I got a shoey for you guys later in the week. I got a big shoey. DMAC, bro, I'm in CT3 land, VA, Virginia. I'm opening up a sports bar, Charles Lee. So we're going to have a Dodgers bar. Oh, no. Does that mean we have to do a Dodgers bar guide for Virginia? You want to see a Freeman jersey, a DMAC bobblehead? Yeah, I'll be saying yes to all these trades. I'll be saying yes to all these big free agent signings. We got One-Eyed Dragon. Congratulations. What would I name a burger after you? That's from Charles Lee. Man, we got to think of something. Yeah, I'll think of something. The DMAC Deluxe. How about that? Good morning, D-Mac, Santa Clarita in the house. Hey, shout out to Tyler Glass Now Country. No sore losers in Big D-Mac's podcast from Gabriel. Yeah, guys, we're doing tons of jerseys, man. This is going to be a season of bobbleheads and jerseys. And honestly, the reason why we're doing these giveaways is a thank you to you guys. I like that. The Fire Take Burger. Fire Take Burger. That would be nice. Put a little spice on it, some jalapenos. I love it. Where is Snell going? That's from Jack. So the latest on Blake Snell is Farhan Zaidi came out and said that he's not going to be a Giant. And it's a little surprising that the Giants weren't a little more involved, weren't going to do it. Farhan Zaidi said, the offseason is really over as far as I'm concerned. We are more in-season mode, which doesn't mean you can't make additions, but it's a different dynamic because we're really focused on the players that we have and how they're all going to fit together. Our plan all along has been to give our young pitchers opportunities and try to create a defense that would support them in their transition. That's one of the reasons Matt was such a priority. So you count out the Giants, a team that absolutely could have used another frontline starting pitcher. You wonder if the Angels are going to pony up some dough for him. Are the Phillies involved? Would he really want to go to Philadelphia, who Philly just gave Zach Wheeler a new deal? You re-signed Aaron Nola. Do you want to pitch in Philly? If you're looking to opt out, how will your numbers look in a full season in Philly? Makes you wonder that. So until he's signed somewhere, then that's when I'll believe that the Dodgers aren't at least 1% listening or having conversations. They're opportunistic. So I don't personally think that there's a big time likely chance. I think the likelihood is low that he ends up with the Dodgers. But hey, until he signs with someone, it makes you wonder what is going on with Blake Snell. Maybe that could be his ultimate flex to the league and saying, you know what? Fine. I'm not going to get my money. I'll go win a World Series. I'll dominate with the Dodgers. I'll give them a very favorable deal because you're not committed long-term. It makes you wonder if it's a possibility. It's unlikely, but until he signs somewhere, I thought the Giants were definitely a team that really should have been all in. But of course, the Giants, they're a little bit of an unserious franchise. I mean, look, they had Jung-Hoo Lee, Jorge Soler. You bring in Matt Chapman, some nice moves. Not gonna lie, I think they're gonna finish second in the division. I think that they're gonna surprise some folks. But down below in the comments section, what are your thoughts? What are your guesses for the Giants? And actually, what are your guesses for Blake Snell? Where do you think he ends up? We got happy 30th. Yeah, everyone will wish their friend a happy 30th. La Puente in the house. D-Mac, let's go. Yama Mania. Pablo, that's where my dad graduated high school. La Puente. My grandparents live. Bryce Nakin. Max Muncy for cleanup. Looking nasty in spring. We'll talk some Max Muncy here in a second. Checking in from Rialto, California. Tayo over on YouTube. Alhambra says, let's go Dodgers. We got Sean Green's days away. You gotta let me see Sean Green. I like to do a little more obscure, but how about Sean Green? Sean Green, one of my favorite Dodgers growing up. Who will forget his day against the Brewers? 4 bombs. Sean Green, 5 years with the Dodgers, 130 OPS plus. Of course, Sean Green, 49 home runs. That is a franchise record that's going to sit until Shohei Ohtani tops it this season, because I think Ohtani is going big fly 50 times. Seeing the Dodgers in May, it'll be my second baseball game. Very exciting. Steve Martin, you can never get enough. Can never get enough Dodger baseball. 4 bombs. Sean, love greenies. Sign JD. We named our cat Sean Green, BT Fouts. I love that. We got Sarama Kamula off talking about what's your pitching rotation for the playoffs, assuming everybody is healthy. We'll answer that one in a little bit for sure. What's up, D-Mac? What up, Joe Mama? James Duckett. I've never been this excited for baseball season. LFG Dodgers. You got me hype. You got me wanting to run through a brick wall just here and now because I'm with you. I think all of Dodgers Nation is with you because just look at the season. Look at the lineup they put together. Look at the roster they put together. And there's a redemption arc of this too. There's the sting, the bad taste that one win in the postseason after 211 regular season wins over the last 2 years has left. So I think there's the revenge factor that makes it that much more exciting. Sub D-Mac from Casa Grande, Arizona. We got what up D-Mac from West Covina. That's from Martin Rodriguez, Joe Mama, D-Mac, talk Snell into existence. Roy Estrada. You want me to just full-blown LeVar Ball it? We'll talk more Snell later if you guys want on our open section where, like I said, we have a new designated section on this show where I'm just reading comments the entire time. But next topic I want to get into, we are going to talk about the Dodgers lineup. Who is going to be in the Dodgers opening day lineup? Who's going to be in the lineup versus lefties versus righties? Is there a little bit of a controversy at the cleanup spot? That's coming up next here on Dodgers Dugout Live. What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. I'm here to remind you that if you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel for all latest Dodgers news, rumors, hype videos, interviews, breakdowns, live streams, and more all year long. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you really want to help the channel out, smash that like button. Also, you will not be eligible for any of our giveaways unless you are subscribed to the channel. So all you need to do to be eligible for all of our giveaways is just make sure that you are subscribed. We just gave away a brand new authentic Mookie Betts jersey valued at over $350. And we got tons of giveaways coming this offseason. So be sure to be subscribed so you are eligible to win. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and please subscribe. And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live. Just gave away our Yoshinobu Yamamoto jersey. So once again, congratulations to our winner, Big Boss Cerez 3889 on YouTube. Congratulations. You're getting yourself a Yamamoto jersey. But you know, if you didn't win, you still have a chance to win in the future because we're doing tons of giveaways. Just be sure you are subscribed to the channel. But here in our second segment, we are talking about the Dodgers lineup. Who will be in the lineup on opening day? Who's going to be in the lineup versus lefties and versus righties? So first lineup we're going to do is versus righties, because I think this one is pretty straightforward. Not too many surprises here. You got the MV3 right at the top. You got Mookie Betts batting leadoff at second base. Then right behind him, Shohei Ohtani, designated hitter. 3-hole Freddie Freeman first base. So the MV3 right at the top of the lineup. And then batting cleanup, got to go Will Smith. Catcher Will Smith behind the dish. He started career high 75% of the games at catcher last season. He did have some low moments after he broke his ribs. And Will Smith talked to us about it in that he started to develop some bad habits at the plate. And you saw the numbers because he was hitting over 300 to start the season. He was primed to really have his best season as a pro, and he did make his first All-Star team, but he ended up with a 121 weighted runs created plus, a 4.1 R WAR, hit 19 home runs, 76 RBI, 63 walks. He slashed 261, 359, 438, had a 4.4 F WAR. But after the rib injury, he started to struggle just a little bit. If you look at his batting average, it was at 313. That went down to 241. The on base went from 531 down to 415. The slug went down. The slug went from 531 down to 415. The on base went from 384 to 312 for the last third of the season. So he wasn't the same hitter towards the last third of the season that he was for the start of the year, but still put together a really nice season. He's going to be your cleanup hitter. And then right behind him is Max Muncy, batting fifth at third base. And I think for Max Muncy, you just have to hope that you're getting the post-July 1st version of Max Muncy, because he started the season strong, then had a lull, then he picked it up. He reduced the strikeout rate. You saw him hit for more contact. But last season through June 30th, 267 plate appearances, hit 18 home runs, was hitting 189, but had a 111 weighted runs created plus. So yeah, he did have a sub 200 batting average, was batting below the Mendoza line, but weighted runs created plus was at 111. After July 1st, though, 312 plate appearances, 18 home runs, slash 231, 343, 489, had a 124 weighted runs created plus, and you started to see more hit for contact approach, right? The first part of the season, the first 3 months, he had 18 singles and 18 home runs. He had as many singles as he did home runs. Final 3 months of the season, he had 30 singles and 18 home runs. So you saw more singles. You saw the strikeout rate go from 28.8% to 24.4%. So I'm bullish. I think Max Muncy's going to have a career high in home runs. I think he's going to hit 37, 38 home runs. He's going to surpass that 36 home run total. I definitely think he can do it. Max Muncy is already has already hit 175 home runs in his career. 175 home runs in his career. That's 10th all time. And then behind him, you got Teoscar Hernandez in left field. We'll talk some Teoscar in a second here. Then you got Jason Hayward batting 7th in right field. Now, I do think you could see James Outman batting here, but last season, Hayward, the majority of his bats were in the 6th or 7th spot. Last season, Hayward had an 818 OPS, 13 home runs, 21 doubles versus righties. He had over 90% of his plate appearances versus righties. So either 7th or 8th, that's where we're going to see Jay Hay. I think to start the year, they want to give him all the opportunity in the world to go out there and do what he does best, and that's have success against right-handed pitching. So I think you could see him higher in the lineup, but I also think you could see Outman there as well. Then batting 8th, you got James Outman, an 836 OPS, 22 home runs versus righties, a 665 OPS, 1 home run, 4 doubles versus lefties. So more success against righties. 22 is 23 home runs versus righties. But James Outman, speed, athleticism, bottom of your lineup. And then you follow that up with Gavin Lux, who will be batting 9th at shortstop. So Gavin Lux, a few years ago, when he was having some mechanical issues with that swing, you saw an adjustment in 2022. You saw the swing level out. He wasn't going for launch angle. He wasn't going for home runs. But what that did was it reduced the droughts. It allowed him a couple extra seconds to get in the box and kind of settle down, where he wasn't rushing things. And of course, the amount of time it takes for the pitchers to get to the plate, that's a fraction of a second, but even the fraction more that gave him to get his bat on the ball, to put the ball in play, it definitely helped with his confidence. And look, the year he had a 113 weighted runs created plus a few seasons ago, he was a 3-WAR player, according to F4. So Gavin Lux is going to give them speed at the bottom of the lineup. He's going to give him a guy that can get his bat on the ball, someone who can hit hopefully between 280 and 300 and turn over that lineup and almost act as a second leadoff hitter and put some ducks on the pond for Mookie, Ohtani, and Freddie, the MV3. So that is my hope. Gavin Lux brings a speed dimension to this lineup at the bottom that it did not have last season when you had Miguel Rojas there at the shortstop position. And he's had his most success batting there. He had a 129 weighted runs created plus a few seasons ago, batting 8th and 9th. So he's had the most success there, brings them speed. I think you saw a 3-for-3 game the other day that you really felt encouraged about. Yes, the defense, he's still trying to get the feel back and trying to get his bearing there at the shortstop spot with the glove, but you're starting to see him pick up on the timing with the stick. So there's my opening day lineup right there. Mookie, Ohtani, Freddie, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, Jason Hayward, James Outman, and Gavin Lux. That's my 1 through 9. And I think if you are Will Smith, you got to feel good about the fact you're on the media guide. That is the new Dodgers media guide for this season. And they're going with the big 4 approach, right? You got Ohtani right up there. Below him, you got Freddie, you got Mookie, and then there is Will Smith. So I love it. Will Smith getting some love. And this is the guy that they're going to give that cleanup spot to for their opening day lineup against righties. So that's going to be a lot. Now, the more interesting topic, though, is against lefties. This is my lineup for the Dodgers against lefties. Batting leadoff at second, I've got Marcus Lindbetz, of course. Behind him, Shohei Ohtani at DH. In the 3-hole, Freddie Freeman at first. And then the first big change comes at the cleanup spot, and that's where I have Teoscar Hernandez. I think that Teoscar Hernandez should be the Dodgers cleanup hitter because he absolutely dominates against left-handed pitching. He is a lefty killer, a lefty masher. If you look at his numbers for the last 3 seasons against Southpaws, he's slashing 317, 249, 628, averaging 27 home runs in 387 plate appearances. A 164 weighted runs created plus from 2021 to 2023 against lefties. A 164 weighted runs created plus. Do you know who's ahead of him there? Mookie Betts. He's right up there with Mookie Betts and Paul Goldschmidt and Wilson Contreras, right? Some of the best lefty mashers in the game. That's how good Teoscar Hernandez is. He's literally a top 5 hitter against left-handed pitching in all of Major League Baseball. And a few weeks ago, I asked Dave Roberts about Teoscar Hernandez and if he would bat in the cleanup spot. And Dave told me He didn't want to go that far. He didn't want to commit to it. He did say middle of the lineup. So maybe they don't see Teoscar Hernandez as the cleanup hitter. Maybe they want to see him provide some pop and consistency down in the lineup. But I think that if you want to score the most runs, Teoscar at the cleanup spot makes the most sense. And then right behind him, batting fifth against lefties, is Will Smith. He had an 800 OPS versus southpaws compared to a 795 OPS versus righties. Behind him is Max Muncy, batting sixth against lefties. Now, this one is going to be one to watch. This is something you should monitor closely early on in the season, because last year, Max Muncy did not have a great year against lefties. He actually had his worst year with the Dodgers against southpaws. He had a 642 OPS, had 11 home runs, and you compare that to an 881 OPS and 25 bombs versus righties. Now, he has had success versus lefties throughout his career, though. Throughout his career, he's had an 808 OPS versus lefties compared to an 830 OPS versus righties. So he has had balanced splits, but just not last season. So let's envision a scenario where he's struggling defensively and he's struggling against lefties. Maybe you do see some Chris Taylor at third. Maybe you do see some Kike Hernandez at third. Maybe you do see some Miguel Rojas in there for Gavin Lux during certain stretches, and you kind of mix things up. So Max Muncy, they want him to be their everyday third baseman. They want him to hit 30-plus home runs. But if he does struggle against lefties and the defense is down, maybe they do give Chris Taylor and Kike Hernandez more opportunities at the hot corner. Then you got James Outman batting seventh. And James Outman, 836 OPS, 22 home runs versus righties that we talked about, 665 OPS, 1 home run, 4 doubles versus lefties. You're probably going to see him batting eighth, and then Kike batting seventh. And that's where I want to see Kike. I want to see Kike batting seventh because throughout his career, a 115 weighted runs created plus against lefties. He's been a lefty matcher. He's been better against lefties than righties throughout his career. And he's already talked about it too. Kike talked about it in his interview with Foul Territory that the big reason why he signed with the Dodgers was because he was going to go have those opportunities to start against lefties. That's what he does best. So I think you'll see Kike batting seventh against lefties. Then eighth for the start of the season, at the very least, you'll see James Outman. And they have said that they don't want to platoon James Outman. And look, 665 OPS versus lefties, 1 home run, 4 doubles. He hasn't been great against lefties, but I think he needs more experience. I think that the more experience he gets, the better he's going to fare. And then you focus on the above average defense. So if he can just hold his own against lefties, I think you'll see him in the lineup. And then ninth again, it's Gavin Lux. So Gavin Lux, he actually was pretty okay against lefties a few seasons ago. He had a 263 average against lefties compared to a 280 average versus righties. But the good thing is you got depth. You have Rojas, you have Chris Taylor. And I think that there is a world where Rojas gets a good amount of starts at shortstop when you have lefties on the mound. And I think there's a good amount of opportunities for Chris Taylor when you have lefties on the mound, possibly in the outfield, possibly at third. You can even see him at shortstop as well. But I think to start things off, you'll probably see Gavin Lux. You'll probably see James Outman. But I would not be surprised that you see a Rojas early on or you see a Chris Taylor early on. But right now, I think you got Mookie, you got Ohtani, you got Freddie, Teoscar batting cleanup for me. I don't think they'll probably at the end they go with it, but for me, that's my ideal lineup. Teoscar batting cleanup, then Will Smith batting fifth, Muncy sixth, Kike seventh, Outman eighth, and Gavin Lux ninth at shortstop. But let me know down below in the comments section, what are your opening day lineups? What do they look like? We got a super chat from Sammy Boy Smith, $2 to Dodgers. Can we average 6 runs a game this year? 6 runs a game would be a lot because we've seen cold stretches for this team. We've also seen a lot of laughers and they've gone on crazy tears, but we've also seen some droughts, right? So could they average 6 runs per game? That would be ridiculous. I mean, that's 972 runs a season for a 162 game season. Last year, the Dodgers, they were the first team in Los Angeles Dodgers history to eclipse the 900 run mark. They scored 906 runs in 2023. So that was considered to be a franchise record for LA Dodgers history. And that is 5.59 runs per game. So could they average 6 runs? I mean, if any team could do it, it's this team. if you get the version of Mookie and Freddie that you got last year, and you get MVP level Shohei Ohtani, who's at the 180 to 200 weighted runs created plus level, maybe you do. You get good seasons from Teoscar Hernandez, who has a bounce back year, who could possibly hit 30 home runs and be an all-star, has a silver slugger caliber of year, and then a Will Smith and a Max Muncy, and everyone stays healthy. It's possible, but it's pretty unlikely. We got a super chat from Nishida, 320. We got what's up, brother, from Tokyo, Japan. How's it going? Thank you for representing Dodgers Nation all the way in Japan. Hello, Dodgers Nation and DMAC from Carnivorous Lunar Activity. DMAC, they might as well just give us the World Series already. Yeah, start fitting the rings, right? Just get the parade ready. Put all that clear plastic stuff on the lockers. No, that's not how baseball works, people, okay? If we're any other sport, maybe. This is where the KD Warriors or the LeBron Heatles, maybe you could guarantee a championship. But this is baseball. If you look at the current Zips projections from Fangraphs, they have the Dodgers at 94-68. 94-68. That's it. Not even a 100-win season. They give the Dodgers a 94% chance to make the playoffs and a 16% chance of winning the World Series. That's the second highest projection behind the Atlanta Braves. So the Dodgers aren't even considered the favorites by Fangraphs to win the World Series. They're behind the Braves. And if you look at Baseball Prospectus, they use the PECOTA rankings. They like the Dodgers a little more. They have the Dodgers at 102-60 with a near 100% chance of making the playoffs and a 19% chance of winning the World Series. So that is the best in baseball. So Baseball Prospectus gives the Dodgers the highest odds, the best chances to win the World Series. Fangraphs has the behind the Atlanta Braves. And all this is to say that it's extremely difficult to guarantee yourself a World Series title. You need a lot of things to break right. You need to stay healthy, one. And then two, you just need guys to get hot and peak at the right time. That's something that they haven't had last season. But let me know down below in the comment section, who do you want to see in the cleanup spot against lefties? Do you want to see Teoscar Hernandez as the Dodgers' permanent cleanup hitter? Right now, the poll on Twitter, 48% say Smith, 24% say Teoscar, 25% say Muncy, 3% say other. That's with 1,435 votes. We have 20 hours and 10 minutes left to go out there and vote. But we got a $9.99 super chat from Lorenzo Gaddis. Did you see Giolito might be out for the season? I feel bad for him, and I'm so glad LA didn't sign. Yeah, I did see that for Lucas Giolito, Harvard Westlake's own. It's unfortunate. He was someone that the Dodgers, they were considering trading for. He was someone that was trying to get his career where, hey, I'm trying to get into a nice big deal, a multi-year deal, hopefully north of $100 million, but that wasn't the case. And that's just the sad side of baseball, man. Injuries are part of the game. Like Billy Beane once said, there's two types of pitchers. Ones that have had Tommy John surgery and ones that are going to have Tommy John surgery. But let's dive back into the comments section. Give me your lineup takes. We got, please trade Gavin Lux. Jack, come on. My man just got a ring, gave a ring. He got engaged yesterday. You want to trade him? Come on now. Extend DMAC from Eric Rojas. Yeah, give me that extension. Give me that $700 million deal. Most of it will be deferred. When will they extend Freddie, Fernando Morales? Do you think they're going to extend Freddie? I don't think they're going to extend Freddie, to be honest with you. I mean, he's on a very favorable 6-year, $162 million deal, $27 million AAV. We got, here's the lineup. We got AJ Alexander versus righties. 1 Betts, 2 Ohtani, 3 Freddie. Lost you down below. Kind of went away. We got Gilbert Ruiz going down to Las Vegas, betting my house and 401k on the Dodgers winning the World Series. Who's with me? I just have to ask the wife. Yeah, I'm sure she'll be okay with that. I'm sure she'll be fine. Yeah, little Gamblers Anonymous there for sure. Funny, we'll talk about Leo DeRocher, the manager, in a bit, who had some issues with that during his playing days, but that still is a bro. But I love it, though. Hey, you got to believe. Like Tommy Lasorda said, you got to believe. Serrano, Camuto. I'll talk about what's your pitching. Okay, we'll get down a little bit. So we got to, when will they extend Freddie? Freddie will retire at Dodgers. That's from Lemon 818. I agree. Question is, will Freddie go out there as a Dodger on his plaque? I mean, maybe if he wins a couple World Series, you never know. Dodgers will trade for his shortstop before the All-Star break. Mark my word. That's a hot take. That's definitely a fire take. Willie Adames could be available. He's probably 8 years old. So we got someone spamming the chat. Hey, we're having a party for the Yamamoto giveaway. I don't have to have a block party, but we will. The Dodgers have a formidable lineup. I think the team will not be shut out this year. What do you think? Yeah, we said it a couple years ago, and they had a long streak a few years ago, but I think, hey, let's call right now. I'll call right now. Dodgers will not get shut out in 2024. How about that? Standing on business right here. We got to glad to hear your ribs are better, D-Mac. That's a fire take. Yeah, you guys, it's a little AI there. My ribs are better. I feel better from the concussion. I'm happy to be batting cleanup. Here's a picture with me, Mookie, and Shohei Ohtani. There's all of us right there, guys. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it was a really cool photo shoot. But curious why you think they wouldn't extend Freddie. Kelly Oshiro, I mean, just look at Freddie Freeman's age and where he's at on his contract. I mean, why would you want to put years on the back end when you can let that contract run through and then probably work something out after that? So, I mean, it's not impossible, but also it just doesn't fit in with what the Dodgers do. I mean, Freddie Freeman is entering his age 34 season, and he has 4 more years left to play on that deal. He turns 35 in September. So you're talking about someone who, if he ages really well, which I think he will for sure, I think maybe you would consider it. It's not outside the realm of possibility, but you look at the deal they gave to Justin Turner late in his career, that $34 million deal. I think they would be willing to sign a 2-year, 3-year deal after that contract expires, but let's just see how things go. I mean, if he just absolutely rakes and he helps carry this team to a World Series, maybe they do consider an extension. I just don't think it's likely. I think this team wants this AAV set where it's at, and that they're looking to maximize this window, and then they'll almost start to rebuild by that point too, because Mookie will be older, Ohtani will be a little older, maybe just exiting his prime. So it's a long way down the line. And you also have guys like Will Smith you would rather extend. Walker Buehler is going to be a free agent, right? So you still don't know if you do have a long-term solution at the shortstop spot. But coming up next, we're going to talk more about the shortstop spot. We're going to talk about Blake Snell. We're going to talk about whatever you want on the 7th inning stretch where we take all of your comments, and then we're talking some Dave Roberts. What will his legacy be in LA? How long will he be a manager for the Los Angeles Dodgers? Who are the top 5 managers in Dodgers franchise history? That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. I'm here to remind you that if you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel for all latest Dodgers news, rumors, hype videos, interviews, breakdowns, live streams, and more all year long. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you really want to help the channel out, smash that like button. Also, you will not be eligible for any of our giveaways unless you are subscribed to the channel. So all you need to do to be eligible for all of our giveaways is just make sure that you are subscribed. We just gave away a brand new authentic Mookie Betts jersey valued at over $350. And we got tons of giveaways coming this offseason. So be sure to be subscribed so you are eligible to win. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and please subscribe. Welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, where now we're going to take all of your questions. And you got a little Nancy B on the take me out to the ball game. So fire away, guys. Anything a guy will answer right now. So I got to talk more Blake Snell. So the latest on Blake Snell, and this is coming from my friend, Mr. Bob Nightingale, is that 4 new teams have reached out to Scott Boras about Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery since the start of spring training. Boras says, is one of those teams the Dodgers? Could it be that they've seen his market crater and they got word that he would be considering a short-term deal? Is Andrew Friedman like the dude in the yellow suit behind the meme, kind of wiping his hands, thinking of Blake Snell on a shorter-term deal? Is that Andy F right now? Could that be him? Maybe it is, but it remains to be seen. But do you guys think there is a chance? I mean, look, we talked about it pretty much ad nauseum at this point, but Blake Snell is someone that if you want to guarantee yourself another ace and you don't think that one can be had during the year, I mean, I just don't think that there's going to be that many options. I mean, maybe Cease becomes available, but what I always say about the trade deadline, we haven't seen very many big-time trades by the Dodgers since they've expanded the postseason. Before that, we saw Max Scherzer and Trey Turner and Yu Darvish, Manny Machado. The list goes on, but when the competition ramped up and the price got higher, Andrew Friedman talked to me about this. And I asked Friedman about this very issue, and he said, yeah, it's different. I mean, there's more teams that are vying for these players. And I always say that Andrew Friedman, he likes to buy that Halloween candy the day after Halloween when then it's a little cheaper. That's not the case at the trade deadline. So do you want to part ways with prospects to get an ace at the deadline if you're going to need one if someone gets injured or someone doesn't work out or you just feel like you need another horse or maybe Clayton Kershaw's rehab doesn't go as swimmingly as you had hoped, as Tyler Glassdown, Yamamoto, all these guys. So he is an ace. He could sign a shorter term deal. Maybe they consider it. I'm not so sure that it would make the most sense for Blake Snell, but like I said, until he signs for with another team, hey, I'll believe when I see it, right? I'll believe it when I see it, and it's possible. But got some more comments here. Never say never. Now the Dodgers front office. That's from Gabriel Avila. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You can never say never with this team. This is the team that this very offseason, you think they're done only for them to make another blockbuster move. And especially Walker Buehler returning, you got that fifth starter spot open, but I think they're going to give it to Gavin Stone early on. Gavin Stone's added 15 pounds of muscle thanks to Chipotle, and he's someone that I think is going to be given the opportunity to have success and see if he can develop. But it'd be very interesting to see if they would even have extended serious conversations about a Blake Snell in Dodger blue. Why wouldn't Gavin Lux be last after the Sarama? Because he's fast, because he bats better in the ninth hole, because he's had the most of his success batting there. But more, where would you slot Snell in the rotation? That's from William. I think you would immediately have to make him your third starter, right? I mean, Bobby Miller had a great rookie season, but Blake Snell's a Cy Young Award winner, right? I mean, you can even make the case he should be number 2. You can make the case he'd be the most accomplished pitcher on the Dodgers. He would be, outside, of course, Clayton Edward Kershaw, right? So anywhere in the top 3 is where he would pitch. And like I said, you can always move James Paxton to the bullpen. You can always use one of these young guys as a swingman and go to a 6-man rotation, because that is what Yoshinobu Yamamoto is used to being in Japan. Tyler Glasnow, the most starts he's made a season is 21. So if you start counting these innings, you look at all the questions up and down this rotation, having another horse like Blake Snell would definitely help this team. I think it was Aristotle that once said, you can never have enough pitching, right? So Snell is currently on a flight to Toronto. That's from Jared Myers. That's a finish him for sure.
Finish him.
What up? What up? Yo, D-Mac, you should interview the DJ of Dodger Stadium. He deserves some support. I did interview the DJ of Dodger Stadium a couple years ago. My friend, my buddy, my pal, Mr. DJ Severa. Go look for that. This is before the opening day of 2021, I believe. So some more questions. Lux will play all-star level baseball this year. That's from Lemon 818. Magic 8 Ball for October manager. That's for Dave Roberts. Jaime Pallone. I really think Dave Roberts was lucky to get to the Dodgers when he did. He did not imagine the Dodgers would have this kind of players. Tommy Joe Torre, Walter would have won plenty of World Series with those players. Okay, so real quick, let's talk some Dave Roberts. And Dave, he did an interview with the LA Times, and he talked about his future here. And it really felt like Dave is as happy as he's ever been as a Dodgers manager. And Dave Roberts is someone who he's had a ton of success with this team. But the question is, how long does he want to manage? How much longer will he be here? Can he enter the Tommy Lasorda, Walter Alston conversation? Well, Doc told the LA Times this will be the toughest because anything short of winning a championship will be an underachievement. But if you love what you do, you don't feel any pressure, and I have too much joy for baseball. So my takeaway from that is there's always pressure to win the World Series. If Ohtani wasn't on this team, you would have fans expecting a World Series title because you would have 2 top MVP candidates in Mookie and Freddie. But as far as his future goes, Doc said, we have to win a championship. He said, period. That was the end of the quote. So Dave said, you're managing a lot of different areas, different people, and certainly expectations, but I love it. I get up so excited to drive up to Vin Scully Avenue every day to work. When you love the city, you love the organization, you love the people within it. I know it sounds trite, but it doesn't even seem like a job. So this is someone who's giving me Tommy Lasorda vibes this year in how much love he has for the Dodgers and how much support he has within the organization. Andrew Friedman said, Doc does an incredible job of balancing the many duties of the modern day manager. There's a relentless nature of the job and his ability to cultivate a great clubhouse culture, maintaining high energy and keeping the clubhouse loose, all while staying locked in on game strategy. It's truly impressive. So as far as how much longer will Dave Roberts be the manager of the Dodgers? How much longer will he be the skipper in LA? Well, he always talks about how the hardest part of his jobs is something that people don't see. And you don't see the egos that he has to manage. You don't see that. And he said that he would love to stay here forever. Doc said, I play for this organization. I care for this organization. I love the players. I've invested a lot of time and care into the players. I can't predict the future, but for me to wear one uniform as a manager, that would be a dream. So how could this happen? How could, you got some fire Dave Roberts already. How could this happen? How could Dave Roberts finish his career with LA? He said himself, you have to win a championship. You have to win the World Series. But I just want to point something out. Dave Roberts is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Dave Roberts could easily end up in Cooperstown and go down as one of, if not the best managers in franchise history. He's accomplished more than Alston and more than Lasorda in his first 6 seasons, if you compare their first 6 seasons to his, and he's entering his 9th because he hasn't had a losing season yet. In their first 6 seasons, Lasorda had a losing year, Alston had a losing year. If you look at his 500 win seasons, it would have been 6 if it weren't for the pandemic shortened season. And that year, the Dodgers won 43 games. They would have won 116. That's what they were on pace to win. And they went on to win the World Series. So 5 100 win seasons should have been 6th. That would already have tied him with John McGraw and Bobby Cox for the most 100 win regular seasons in baseball history. So think about that. They have all the great managers in the sport. Right? The Joe Torres of the world, the Sparky Andersons, the Jim Lelands, all the great managers. Dave could have already tied them when it comes to 100-win seasons. So that shows you the success in the regular season. And then he should have won in 2017. I want to go into the weeds on that. We know that the Astros were cheating. And in 2020, it was a shortened pandemic season that I don't feel like he gets enough credit for. Yes, there were some of the lean years recently in the postseason where he had early exits, but even those seasons he overachieved, right? 111 wins in 2022, 100 wins in 2023 when most experts predicted this team to finish behind the Padres in the NL West. So he's overachieved the last couple seasons in the regular season, but ultimately his success or failure will be determined by what he does in October. That's what he needs to do. He needs to get this team over the hump because this roster is set as far as the core players, as far as the franchise level position players and starting pitchers. Those guys aren't moving. Dave Roberts, if they wanted to move him, they could, and he could be forced to be in a position where if they underachieve, he could be the fall guy. He could fall on the sword. And I think a couple things that Dave Roberts does at an elite level are, one, great culture builder. He knows how to give his players confidence, especially the young players. 2, this guy takes heat better than an oven door. I mean, this is someone who can take the vitriol from a fan base that has extremely high expectations, from an organization that makes a lot of these moves and has a big say in the lineup construction and the way that pitchers are deployed. Dave Roberts is essentially a conduit for what the front office and the baseball analytics department, it's a big collaborative effort, and Dave executes that to a T. So could Dave Roberts be an all-time great manager? I think he can. I think that Dave has a couple of World Series titles in him at least, and if that's the case, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. He's going to get his number retired. But let's do the top 5 managers in Dodgers franchise history. Top 5 managers in Dodgers franchise history. We'll do some honorable mentions. Of course, I'll always have a soft spot for Jim Tracy. He got us that 2004 series win against the Cardinals. Shout out to Lima time. Always have a little bit of a soft spot for Joe Torre. That run, 08, 09, couple seasons, very late in his career, was in his late 60s. Of course, Don Mattingly is very interesting because that team was just so dysfunctional with Yasiel Puig, and after the Mets series, he ends up going to the Miami Marlins. That just never worked out. But the top 5 all time, let's go 5-1. Start with Wilbert Robinson. Now, who's Wilbert Robinson? He was the Dodgers manager from 1914 to 1931. And at the time, they weren't even known as the Dodgers yet. They were the Robins because they were named after Wilbert Robinson. He gets the nod because he's in the Hall of Fame. He won 2 pennants in 1916 and 1920. And he is, think about that. I mean, imagine if it was the Los Angeles Roberts, right? They were named after their manager. So coming at number 5, Wilbert Robinson, predates the Dodgers from 1914 to 1931. Then next, we got Leo DeRocher. Now, Leo DeRocher, very fascinating player, manager, managed for 1939 to 1946. And this was pretty much the Tommy Lasorda mindset and demeanor and temper before Tommy Lasorda. This is someone who would constantly get into it with his players. He constantly would get into it with umpires. And if you guys know the phrase, nice guys finish last, that was coined by Leo DeRocher. He's given credit for that saying. Of course, the saying was, he was talking about the Giants and Mel Ott, because the Giants in 1946, they were having a terrible year. And DeRocher said, the nice guys are all over there in 7th place. So that's where it's credited to, Leo DeRocher. So Leo DeRocher, he was a Dodgers assistant. He was the third base coach for a while, of course, under Walter Alston. He got into the players a little bit. There's a story where he got into a fight with Frank Howard once and was hitting him with a bat, and Frank Howard lifted him and pushed him away. And then the DeRocher, he left the Dodgers. It was an acrimonious exit. But still, one of the cool things is he was one of Jackie Robinson's earliest, biggest supporters. His career ended before Jackie Robinson's began because he was suspended for the 1948-7 season because he was associated with this gambling scandal. But still, he comes in at number 4. Then number 3, I'm going Dave Roberts. So Dave Roberts already is a top 3 manager in Dodgers franchise history. 5 100-win seasons, 3 pennants, 2 World Series titles. And it's very interesting how his career parallels Tommy Lasorda in a lot of different ways. He lost his first 2 World Series titles like Lasorda did in the late 70s. And his first World Series title came in a shortened season. Lasorda's was in a 110-win season, 110-game season in 1981, and Dave Roberts was a 60-game season in 2020. But Dave Roberts is already a top 3 manager in Dodgers franchise history. And then coming in at number 2, this one will probably be a little controversial. I have Walter Alston as my number 2 best manager in Dodgers history. He's the franchise record holder with 2,040 wins. He won 4 World Series titles, including the Dodgers' very first World Series in 1955. He wasn't the brash, loud, aggressive manager that Tommy Lasorda was, but he was steady. He was known to be a great tactician. There's a famous story about him in the Dodgers' first run in Los Angeles, where all the players were complaining about the bus and how the other team, the Pirates, had a better bus than they did, and all the Dodgers were complaining about it. And he parked the bus and he got off the bus and was staring at all of his players, including Frank Howard, who was 6'7", and he asked all the players if they have a problem with the bus to come out. Let's settle this right here. And no one came out there. It was silence. And then he gets back on the bus, and then the season turned around for that Dodgers team. They went out to win the World Series. But number 1 is Tommy Lasorda. Tommy Lasorda doesn't have the most World Series wins. He doesn't have the most wins, period. But Tommy Lasorda is the spirit of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tommy Lasorda is the reason why Dodger Blue is iconic as it is. He really popularized the phrase, right? I mean, Tommy Lasorda was someone that's his dream was to be the Dodgers manager. He was a third base coach for many years, and he would always be asked about the position, and he would tell him, look, I want to be the Dodgers manager, make no mistake about it, but I'm only going to take that position when Walter Alston is ready. He was actually offered the job from the Montreal Expos, but he didn't take the job because he waited it out. Eventually, late 70s, 1977, he goes on, he accepts that job. He signed a 1-year, $50,000 deal to be the Dodgers manager. And at the press conference, he said that the what's up? Oh, my bad. I thought like sound out or something. So yeah, he took a 1-year, $50,000 contract to be the Dodgers manager. And he basically told them, he was like, hey, You guys messed up in negotiations. If you had waited a couple days, I would have paid you to be the Dodgers manager. I mean, there's stories about Lasorda at the Arizona Complex League that really, I think, epitomize who he became. I mean, the Arizona Complex League, that's a developmental league, right? There's no fans, not on TV. He was the first ever manager to get kicked out, ejected in the Arizona Complex League. And his players, they wouldn't bet on if he was going to get ejected. They would bet on which inning he would get ejected. So that's the kind of fire he brought. And then I thought it was really cool when he was a minor league manager too. Tom Lasorda would have his players actually send letters to the players that were playing their position at the big league level and say that I'm going to be the starter at your position. And he would go on to take that minor league team and with Steve Garvey and Lopes and Say and Russell, and they went on to win a couple World Series titles. So to me, it's Tommy Lasorda. He's the number one manager in Dodgers franchise history. He is the North Star, I think, when it comes to the spirit that he brings. So I got DeRocher behind him. I got Alston behind him, but I think that's a little controversial because Alston, I mean, a 4-time World Series winning manager, the all-time wins leader, but still, list just to recap. I got Wilbert Robinson at 5, DeRocher at 4, Roberts at 3, Alston at 2, and Lasorda at 1. But let me know down below in the comments section, how do you feel about my list, my lineup? How do you feel about Blake Snell? Jam-packed Tuesday show. By the way, congrats again to our winner of the Yoshinobu Yamamoto jersey at Big Boss Rez 2839 over on YouTube. You are the winner. I gave Joe Torre a honorable mention because Joe Torre only a couple of seasons did take him to the NLCS. I think he wasn't in the best position because of the ownership at the time. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_lay. Love you back. See you guys next time. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. Until next time, think blue.